Let's see. What do you think it's gonna connect us with? 1, 2, 3, 4. Connected. Online. Okay. Everything came out the way it's supposed to. All right. Testing. Oh, we didn't test. Nothing test for me.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Looks good to me. Looks good to me. Let's see. What's this right here? Well, Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
Oh wait, hold on. Tell the kid. Children, turn the games off. Come sit down. Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is Yahushua. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints watching in on the camera, to the saints in the chat, to the saints scattered around the world that we don't know about. But no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. All right, so they got y'all names a little different. So I think I got this one down. This is Sister. I got you. I got you, Sister Sharon. You know what I'm saying? I think I got everybody's name. Sabbath peace. I appreciate y'all. So what we talked about last week? I'm tired, boy. What we talked about last week?
We talked more about the beast.
Yeah, that's good. We did. We talked about the beast. What we say about the beast? Where you know what I'm saying? That's where you tag Eli in. Go ahead and tag him in. You know what I'm saying? Eli, go ahead and help him out, man. You know what I'm saying? He be sitting there picking his nose, digging in his butt the whole time. Go ahead and tell him, you know what I'm saying? What were you talking about, Eli? Oh, come on, boy. You know what I'm saying? All right. Tag Zahar in. Zahar. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, these two, but they playing patty cake the whole time. What you got for us, Zahar? Tell us what happened.
Something passed something down, and then that passed.
Yeah, wait. Down. The first beast went on the dragon.
You can't buy good help around here. Something passed something down, and something else happened. Oh, and then something happened after that for sure. I know that for. What in the world did that even mean?
Something happened and a thing at the place that one time.
Something happened for sure.
You know what I'm saying? I do remember something happened. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Goodness gracious. That was 2 weeks ago. I think. I don't know. I feel like that was 2 weeks ago. So last week what we discussed was the bowls, the vials, right? So remember it was 7 angels, and they had 7 vials, and they poured out the 7 plagues on the earth from the 7 vials. So we went over those 7 vials, and we are seeing how there was stuff falling out of the sky again. We saw that even like all the water was or virtually all the water was poisoned. Everything was just toe up. And so I want us to always imagine the conditions of the world. The conditions of the world are such that it's difficult to get resources. It's difficult to feed your family. It's difficult to get everything you want. So remember what came out of that. The mark of the what? The mark of the beast, right? Where the beast who gave his power to the second beast, that second beast caused people to get a mark. And unless you had that mark, you could not buy or sell. So now if I'm hungry and my family is hungry, because you can't just put it on you. Ain't nobody going to respect it if it's just you. You always got to bring the kids into, you know I do, you know what I'm saying? You know how kids be, man, you taking food out of my family mouth. That's how dudes get themselves riled up to do something. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? You trying to take food out of my family mouth? You know what I'm saying? Then it's like, okay, now it's justified for me to knock you out. You know what I'm saying? For me to shoot you up and do whatever. But in reality, you just wanted some extra money. It ain't about your darn kids. Stop all that lying. So that's what you gotta do. When they do put the mark on people, it ain't gonna be about them. It's gonna be about these darn kids. Right? And when they bring the kids into it, you're gonna be like, not us, y'all willing, right? But a lot of these people gonna be like, oh, go ahead and give me the mark right here, tattoo it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you gotta do, right here. Go ahead and give me the mark because my baby's gotta eat. I gotta feed my family. I gotta feed my kids, right? So, you know what I'm saying? We talked about how that mark came, and the people who had that mark, that was the first vial. First vial that got poured out, it put boils all over their skin. You know what I'm saying? They got sick. But we also talked about the conditions that we were in, right? So remember, before this time, we had already been taken out of all the countries and all the cities of the world and led back to Israel. So we you know what I'm saying, the book describes us going into the wilderness, right? And you think of a wilderness as like a desert. So you look at a desert. My boss just showed me a desert that was in I want to visit it in New Mexico. It's called the White Sand Desert or White Sand something. That thing looked beautiful. Just a bunch of white sand, almost look like water, you know what I'm saying? But a bunch of white sand, just like as far as you can see. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. It's just a bunch of sand, bunch of dead. It ain't white sand probably, but bunch of sand, bunch of dirt. And we probably gonna be walking through it. And at some point, we gonna get thirsty, but we gonna look and we gonna say it ain't no water here. The book describes it as the Most High God is gonna make streams of water just appear out of the sand and bring a bunch of trees and stuff for us to eat and stuff for us to have a little oasis inside of the desert. And then he said he gonna create a highway, a walkway for us, and we'll go straight to Israel. The walkway gonna be straight to Israel. I don't know what's gonna actually happen with us. We might do some detours like we did the first time, right? But the walkway, it says, it's gonna be a highway showing us which way to go. So, so that's the condition that we in. So let's actually start there. Let's start with Ezekiel. This is Ezekiel chapter 36. It's Ezekiel chapter 36. Is it still glitchy? Sister Pam said the video is a little glitchy. Let me know if it's still glitching. It's Ezekiel chapter 36. Let's start at verse 25.
Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and you shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you. And I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and will give you a heart of flesh. And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments and do them. And you shall dwell in the land that I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your God. I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of the tree and the increase of the field, that ye receive no more reproach of famine among the heathen. Then shall you remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations.
Right? So at this point, he's saying he's going to change us, right? And he's going to turn us into new people. He said, and when that happens, you're going to hate the old version of you. Keep going. Hopefully the glitch and start. I just changed one of the settings. I don't know what might be causing it. But if it don't stop, let me know.
Not for your sakes do I this, saith Yahuah God. Be it known unto you, be ashamed and confounded for your own ways, O house of Israel. Thus says Yahuah God, in the day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities, I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, in the waters, in the wastes shall be builded, and the desolate land shall be tilled, whereas it lay desolate in the sight of all that pass by. And they shall say, this land that was desolate is become like a garden of Eden, and the waste and desolate and ruined cities are become fenced and inhabited, and are inhabited.
So he's talking about our land. So he's talking about when we get back to our land, everything was desolate, wasn't nothing there. So he's talking about when we get back to the land. So look, right now there's people there. It's not desolate. Right? Just keep that in mind. Right now, it is not desolate land. There are people there. right? So in between now and when this happens, it's going to be desolate. Now, I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know what that's going to look like. But in between right now and where we talking about in this book right now, the land will be desolate. It will be, and what desolate mean is it's going to be empty. Ain't nobody going to be there. Ain't nothing going to be built there. So that, gives you the impression that maybe, just maybe, some of this stuff that fell out of the sky landed right smack dab on Israel. Or maybe something happens before stuff starts falling out of the sky and it's a war or something like that, and the people that's in Israel no longer there. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, according to the book, when we get there, it's going to be desolate. And then we're going to rebuild the land. Okay? It's going to be desolate, and we're going to rebuild that land. Let's see. Keep going.
Then the heathen that are round about you shall know that I, Yahuah, built the ruined places and plant that was desolate. I, Yahuah, have spoken it and will do it. Thus says Yahuah God, I will yet for this be inquired of by the house of Israel, to do it for them. I will increase them with men like a flock. As the holy flock, as the flock of Jerusalem in her solemn feast, so shall the waste cities be filled with flocks of men, and they shall know that I am Yahuah.
Mm-hmm. What verse is that?
That's it.
So that's the conditions that we're in. We're back into the land. We rebuilt it, and the Most High God is kind of with us there, right? So when all these plagues are hitting, these plagues that we talked about, the 7 plagues, the 7 vials, this is specifically on Babylon, right? So the rest of the stuff we've been talking about is all over the world. The last plagues are specifically being poured out on the beast in Babylon. Babylon sits on top of the beast, right? So now let's keep going. Let's see if we can try to understand that all this stuff is going to be explained. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 1. It's Revelation chapter 17, verse 1.
And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come here, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters.
Mm-hmm. So this is the judgment of the great whore, and she sits upon many waters. So if we go back to our thing, right? We got to go back to our imagery. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick. If we go back to our imagery here, right? Many waters. What's wrong with that? All right, so many waters. When we talk about many waters, here I'll put it on the big screen. When we talk about many waters, that means that's going to get us to many people, right? So it's the great whore that sits on top of the beast. And read it again. What did it say?
I show you the judgment of the great whore that sits upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication.
Mm-hmm.
So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns.
All right, so now we talk about the heads, right? So when we talk about the heads, it's going to tell us what these heads represent.
And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication.
Mm-hmm.
And upon her forehead was the name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
So it says Mystery Babylon, right? So we're about to try to figure out the mystery of Babylon only using scripture. We don't want to take no guesses and be out here, you know what I'm saying? Mystery Babylon is America. You know what I'm saying? Mystery Babylon is Saudi Arabia. Mystery Babylon is China. It's Russia. You know what I'm saying? All these people just throw stuff out. Right? So that's not what we want to do. Instead, what we want to try to do is we want to use the scripture to see, can we figure this out? Is it something that can connect us in the scripture to what we're dealing with? Let's see.
And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration.
Right? So the blood of the saints and the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. What land could this be so far?
Israel.
You think Israel, right? So far, I would think Israel. Let's keep going.
And the angel said unto me, why did you marvel? I will
That's
tell
Tia.
you the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carries her, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns.
Mm-hmm.
The beast that you saw was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world.
Right. So the beast that you saw was and is not. What does that mean?
It used to exist, but right now it doesn't.
It's saying this beast that you saw previously existed, but at the time that John the Revelator, or John, you know what I'm saying, the apostle wrote this, it did not exist. This beast did not exist, but it used to exist. So he's telling John, the beast that you saw doesn't currently exist, but it used to exist. Keep going.
And yet is. And here is the mind which
Yet
has
is
wisdom.
means it's coming in the future is what it's saying. So it's yet to come, or yet is. Keep going.
And here's the mind which has wisdom.
Here's the mind. When you hear this type of stuff, you got to perk up and pay attention, right? When I think, look, when they say, here's the mind that has wisdom, right? He's trying to tell you, this is when I'm trying to show you something, right? This is something you got to figure out. It's a mystery. Keep going. Here's the mind that has wisdom.
The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits.
So now, he said these heads represent 7 mountains on which the woman sits, right? So now what is a mountain? We can go back to our chart, right? A mountain is going to be a land or a kingdom. So it's going to be these 7 heads represent 7 lands, kingdoms, right? Very important. This woman is sitting on a beast. This beast represents 7 different lands and kingdoms. Watch this. Keep going.
Tia outside.
Children, somebody open the door. David, can you make sure one of them open the door?
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen and 1 is, and the other is not yet come.
All right, so this is similar language, right? 5 are fallen, 1 of them is, and the others are not yet come, right? So 7 kings, 5 of them already fell. So in other words, 5 of them, they were kingdoms, right? That came up, because remember, it's 7 heads. These are 7 lands or mountains, right? Which means there's 7 kingdoms. So 5 of those 7 already came and they fell, right? 1 what?
And 1 is.
1 is currently active at the time that John was writing this. So who was active at the time John wrote? Okay, we know 1 for sure, Romans, because that was active when he wrote it, right? And then what was the last one?
The other is not yet come.
So the other one hasn't come yet, right? This other one doesn't exist yet. So we have this and we have a little mystery, right? That's why he said, here's the wisdom of the saints, because he's saying, if you can figure this out, right? If you can figure out this mystery, let me see here. If you can figure out this mystery, then you're working with something. He says the wisdom of the saints, right? So the next thing is, what's the last piece of this?
And when he comes, he must continue a short space.
Okay. So he said, look, when the last one comes, he only going to continue a short space, right? Read that whole thing again for me.
And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he comes, he must continue a short space.
So the number 7, when he come, he ain't going to be around long, right? When number 7 come, it's only going to be a short space. But then what does it say after that?
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goes into perdition.
So hold on. Let me make sure I understand this correctly. There's 7 heads. 5 of them have fallen. 1 currently is. And then there's going to be a 7 that at the time that he was alive, that 7 didn't exist. So he said there's going to be a seventh. And when that seventh comes, he ain't going to be around long. It's going to be short, that seventh one, right? Then he tells you, but then one of the ones that fell, so one of the five that fell, one of them is coming back and they going to be the eighth. So now we have to kind of think about it like, how in the world does this work out? Right? So let's look at the board, right? You look at it and we can put all these kingdoms together pretty confidently based off of the history of Israel, right? So you got Egyptians. That was the first country, right, that had dominance over us as a nation, right? The Egyptians. They were the first empire that had dominance over us as a nation, right? Then the second ones were the Assyrians, right? The Assyrians were the second empire that had dominance over us as a nation. Then you had the Babylonians, right? We reading about the Babylonians now in our Bible in the year. That is the third empire that had dominance over us as a nation, right? Then the ones that came after that is the Medes and the Persians. That's going to be King Ahasuerus, King Cyrus, King Artaxerxes, right? All those, that's the Medes and the Persians. They had dominance over us as a nation as well. After that, the book is, you know what I'm saying, the Bible kind of closes. But then you have what's called the book of the Maccabees, which describes the Grecians or the Greeks, the Macedonians really, that had dominance over us as a nation, right? They came in, they invaded our temple, they sacrificed pigs on it, did all types of wretched and nasty stuff, right? Then after that, you have the Romans. And at the time that John is writing, the Romans are. So far, we're up to 6, right? That's 6 empires so far that we've talked about. And then there's one that yet is. Now, I can't confidently use the book and tell you who the 7 is because I don't feel like the 7 describes that one, right? But I think I can tell you what the 8th is, right? The 7, what we know about the 7 ain't gonna be there long. They ain't gonna be there long. So you got some options, right? One option is you could say United Nations. One person said in the chat, United Nations. United Nations does kind of fit the prophecy that's in grab Daniel chapter 2. The sister said the whore is mystery Babylon, so wouldn't the 8th be Babylon? Well, we gonna try to figure it out. We're gonna try to figure it out. This is Daniel chapter 2. I don't know what verse. Daniel chapter 2 is long, right? What's the last verse in that? 50 something, 58, 60 something? 49. 49? I thought it was longer than that. Let me see if it's 49. Give me about 35. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 35. Let's see what the book says.
Then was the iron, the clay, and the brass.
Oh, that's exactly what I wanted. Give me verse 31.
Thou, O king, saw, and behold, a great image.
Look, he said, thou, O king. This is Daniel giving Nebuchadnezzar his dream. Nebuchadnezzar, he was the king of Babylon. Nebuchadnezzar is actually Lucifer. When you look in the book tell you, oh, how have you fallen, Lucifer, or whatever it say, it's a prophecy talking about Nebuchadnezzar, because Nebuchadnezzar was given the entire world. He ran the whole shebang. You can go pick up a book about how Nebuchadnezzar gave it up. Right? He ran the whole shebang, had everybody shaking in their boots. Every nation was in there like, oh, Nebuchadnezzar gonna come get it. Everybody was scared of the man because the Most High God put fear in him. He made it so that the whole world was given to him. Really, Nebuchadnezzar testified Yahushua. Right? We think we reading about Lucifer or Nebuchadnezzar or one of these. The whole book is telling you, actually, don't make me get started because I want to show them. You know what I'm saying? Because the book, it tell you, it say Nebuchadnezzar, every bird rested in his tree is what it says in Nebuchadnezzar. Right? It said Nebuchadnezzar would be brought low like a man and then given a heart. What you think happened to Yahushua? Yahushua was up. He said he is God and was with God, right? And then he didn't count it as robbery, right? To break himself like a lowly man. What you think happened to Nebuchadnezzar? He walked around like an animal on the ground, right? Until 7 times passed over. And then he got up and looked up to the sky. You know what he said? He said, it came back to me. When I looked up to the sky, he said, it came back to me. Guess what happened to Yahushua? Right before Yahushua went up and to, you know what I'm saying, to be crucified, you know what he did? He spread his arms like this and he looked up in the 17th chapter of John. He looked up like that. He said, "Yeah, restore me back to the glory that I once had, that I once shared with you." What do you think he was saying? He is saying the same thing as Nebuchadnezzar. When Nebuchadnezzar looked up, it was restored to him. Yahushua was like, you know how it went. You know what I'm saying? You know what's I'm about to look up. You know what's about to happen now. Because it's time to be restored. So this is I want y'all to understand Nebuchadnezzar was a what they call that? What they call it? What's the Christians be call it?
A type.
It's a word like it's a type, but it's something. It's a type of type. It's a something type.
A typology.
Not the typology. It's a what's the word? A good Christian. I'm telling you, like a good Christian. You know what that? It's good news. That means it ain't no real Christians in the building. You know what I'm talking about? A good Christian would have been like, it's that they would have helped me out. What was it? It was I don't know. Archetype. Archetype. Am I saying that right? Archetype. That's what happens when you try to be a Christian. You can't even say their words right. It's archetype, I think. But we see Nebuchadnezzar as that. Nebuchadnezzar, he's the man, right? So he knows this about himself. He has this dream. He don't know what this dream means. And now Daniel is about to tell him what the dream means, right? So go ahead. Watch when he explained the dream to him.
Thou, O king, saw, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee.
Mm-hmm.
And the form thereof was terrible. This image's head was of fine gold.
So the head was of fine gold. Watch this.
His breast and his arms of silver, his belly and thighs of brass, his legs of iron, and his feet part of iron and part clay.
So now the feet were part iron and part clay, right? Watch this.
You saw it till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet that were of iron and clay, and brake them to pieces.
Right? So now there was a stone that was cut without hands, and it went to these feet that were part iron and clay, and it broke them into pieces. Right? Keep going.
Then was the iron, the clay, the brass, the silver, and the gold broken to pieces together, and became like the chaff of the summer threshing floors. And the wind carried them away, that no place was found for them. And the stone that smote the image became a great mountain, and filled the whole earth. This is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Thou, O king, art the king of kings, for the God of heaven has given thee a kingdom, power, and strength, and glory. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and fowls of the heaven has he given into thine hand, and has made thee ruler of them all. You are this head of gold, and after thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall rule over all the earth.
Right? So if we think about the order, we know Babylon is the head of gold. He said after that, another king gonna come. That would be the Medes and the Persians, their empire. They share the empire. Then after that, he said a third one, and that's going to be the Grecians, because we know by history that's who came next. Right? Then what happened after that?
And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as... After thee shall arise another kingdom inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaks in pieces and subdues all things.
Right? So he said in the fourth kingdom, it's going to be as strong as iron. Right? It's going to be a really, really strong iron. Which kingdom is that?
Rome.
That's Rome. Because history tells us there was nothing like Rome. Right? There was nothing like Rome. Like, there was a lot of majesty with Nebuchadnezzar. That's why he was gold. But gold. So I was just watching a video. I like these videos that be popping up on Facebook. where they put the hard press, that little press machine, and they just put stuff in there. And I don't know if I just got a destructive mind, but I'll be looking like, just press it. Let me see what happens to it. So they be putting stuff, they put an axe in there, the axe shatter and split apart because it just put a ton of pressure on it, and it's like that thing don't break. So one time they put, I got the thing on here. One time they put they put gold on there. So they put a big old block of gold on there. And I'm like, oh, I ain't never seen gold shatter in my life. Press it. Like, just press it. And so it went, and they started pressing it, but the gold didn't shatter. The gold just started folding and bending. It was almost like liquid. You know what I'm saying? So the more pressure you put on it, it just flattened out like putty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, that's a 24 karat gold bar. And you just flattened it like putty. I thought like the other metals, it'd be shattering the metal. The metal, like it first of all, the friction from how much it's pressing it turned the metal molten. Like it started like turning red and getting hot just because there's so much friction. And it's like that thing blew my mind. It's like it's not like it's rubbing it together like that. It's just putting pressure on it. And on the inside, there's so much friction that thing started getting hot and then it shatters. It bombed like glass. And so I'm like, the gold was gonna do that. It didn't. It just flattened it out, made it like putty. And then I thought about it. I was like, you know what? If you get super pure gold, it is soft. You know what I'm saying? Like you wouldn't want to get your ring too pure. You people, you know what I'm saying? Your ring, your watch, people usually want to get 24 karat. But the higher the carats, I hope I'm saying this right. If I'm not mistaken, the higher the carats, the less pure it is. You know what I'm saying? The lower the carats, the more pure. But the more pure, they tell you it's not safe to wear it as jewelry because it's so soft. Right? So I'm like, oh, that's why gold is like that. So you think about Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar is the gold head, and it's beautiful. And its gold is strong too. But it ain't like iron. So then you get down to the Romans at the iron, and now it's something strong. But watch what he say after that. Remember, that's 4 so far. Watch what he say after that.
For as much as iron breaks in pieces and subdues all things, and as iron that breaks all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Mm-hmm.
And whereas thou saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou saw the iron mixed with miry clay.
Right? So he's saying now there's going to be another kingdom after the Romans. And they are going to have a little bit of the Romans in them. But they also going to have clay. So clay is weak, right? So it's going to be divided and split. We read it. Watch this.
And whereas you saw the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as you saw the iron mixed with miry clay.
Mm-hmm.
And as the toes of the feet were part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. And whereas you saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
Right? So he's telling you there's going to be division in this next kingdom or empire. They're going to mingle with all different types of people. So yes, that describes something like the UN. That describes something like the allyship that they call the West right now, where it's like the European countries, America, and a few other groups, right? It's like, yeah, that could be what we're talking about. Or it could be something else. Who knows, right? I can't prove that one with the book. All I can say is based off what the book describes, it's possible that it's what we're seeing right now. Right? It makes sense. I don't have no reason to think it's not. But I can't prove it with the book. I can't take you to a Bible verse and say, see, this is definitely this, because there's nothing in the Bible verse about there's nothing directly in the book about the UN or about America or anything like that, right? So that's a fair assumption to make that UN or America or the allies of all these groups, that's what that's talking about. I don't know. But the 8th beast, I think we have a lot more on that. Let's go back to Daniel chapter 8. This is Daniel chapter 8. right? Because remember, he said there are 7 beasts, or 7 heads. Sorry, there are 7 heads, right? 5 of them are fallen. 1 currently is, right? That's talking about the Romans. Then it says the 7th is not yet there. And then it started talking. He didn't even tell you about an 8th. Then he is like, oh, and the 8th is one of the 5. You know what I'm saying? So the 8th is one of them that fell, and he gonna come. It's very interesting. All right, that's very interesting. That's something that we got to think about. We got to ponder on, like, who would come back? So remember, the imagery that we've been talking about before is you have this beast with its wounded head, right? This beast that has a wound, right? This beast that was resurrected, right? Can't be the Romans, because the Romans currently is. So it got to be something that came before the Romans. It could be the Egyptians, it could be the Assyrians, it could be the Babylonians, it could be the Medes and the Persians, it could be the Grecians, right? So this is Daniel chapter 8. Give me verse, I don't know. What verse I want? I don't want to read the whole thing. Although we can.
You want the explanation?
Yeah, give me when the angels start talking. What verse is that?
15.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 15. Watch this.
And it came to pass when I, even Daniel, had seen the vision and sought for the meaning, then behold, there stood before me the appearance of a man. And I heard a man's voice between the banks of Ulai, which called and said, Gabriel, make this man to understand the vision. So he came near where I stood, and when he came, I was afraid and fell upon my face. And he said unto me, Understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision.
At the what?
Time of the end shall be the vision.
What you saw is going to occur at the end. He's about to explain back to him what he saw. Watch this.
Now, as he was speaking with me, I was in a deep sleep on my face toward the ground. But he touched me and set me upright. And he said, Behold, I will make you know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which you saw, having 2 horns, are the kings of Media and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
Right? So look, the rough goat is the king of Greece, right? Really, which is really translated as Yahuah, which is like, you know what I'm saying, like Turkey, Greece, all the little Gentiles in that area, right? So the rough goat is Grecia, he says. Then after that, he says the horn, go ahead.
Now that being broken, whereas 4 stood up for it, 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation.
Right? We have something in history that like directly relates to this. You had Alexander the Great, who was actually a Macedonian, right? He wouldn't consider himself Greece. It's a Macedonian. That's why I like to say, although it translates as Greece, it's really translated. It's the word that's behind it is really Yavan, which is it's the way that they in ancient times would have called it Ionians, right? Or Yavanians or Ionians or however you pronounce it. But the Ionians, if you look up the Ionians, those are like the mother nations to the Macedonians, the Grecians, the Turkish people, all that, right? So Yavan had a horn come up. That horn is Alexander the Great, who went in and conquered everything, right? And then he died suddenly. Man just died, right? So Alexander the Great didn't have a legitimate child to pass his empire to. So he had generals. Guess how many generals he had that ended up fighting over his empire? Primarily 4. Watch what happens.
4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full.
So he said in the latter time, so 4 kingdoms should come back. He said in the latter time of their kingdom, when what?
When the transgressors are come to the full.
When have we heard that idea before? When the transgressions are come to the full. The Canaanites. Very good, right? The Canaanites. When Abraham had his vision, we don't have to get it, but when Abraham had his vision, you remember, he fell asleep. And when he fell asleep, he had a vision. And the Most High God told him, he said, when the iniquity of the Amorites have become full, after that, you and your people will enter into the promised land. Right? Remember, Abraham was currently in Canaan, which would later become Israel. He was already there. Most High God told him, Y'all gonna return here after these generations when the iniquity of the Amorites is full. So think about that in the same way, right? In the same way, Yahushua is going to return when the iniquity of the Gentiles is full, right? Watch this. Keep going.
A king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up.
A king of fierce countenance. Countenance is like your facial disposition. You know what I'm saying? It's like a visible disposition. So you know what I'm saying? If I was sitting there walking sad like this, somebody might say, "Why is your countenance falling?" Right? Right? If I'm sitting here and I'm walking around like this, hey, you over here, this way, everybody, y'all line up over there. I might have a fierce countenance. I'm in command. Right? A person might look at me and be afraid, like, ooh, like he's serious. He mean business. Right? So this king is gonna mean business. When they say fierce countenance, this man means business. So this king has a fierce countenance and he understands what?
Dark sentences.
What you think that means? Dark sentences. He understands the prophecy. So we gonna have a king that's from Yavan, Macedonia, Greece, Turkey, one of those places, right? He is going to understand the book and not just what commandments mean. He's going to understand how this thing's supposed to play out. The same stuff we talking about right now, he going to be able to put it together and say, this is what's supposed to happen. It's going to be a white boy, bad boy. You know what I'm saying? He going to be a bad boy. He going to be lighting people up with the book. Imagine right now, you see how these Hebrew Israelites are? I be trying to tell the Hebrew Israelites, y'all walking into a trap. You see how they be, look, you see how they be saying, the Edomite is the white man. The Edomite is the white man, right? They saying that. In the book, you see Edom is described as red, right? And then David is described the exact same way. The exact same word that describes the complexion of Edomites or the Edom is the exact same word that describes the complexion of David. So what's going to end up happening? When you get a bad white boy that know how to use this book, he going to flip that whole thing on him. White people are the Israelites. You know what I'm saying? We the lost tribe. And then they just going to be sitting there looking dumb and stupid and disturbed. And then what's going to happen when he can open up and crack open the rest of the book and do it better than any of us? All this stuff I'm struggling here, like I think the 7th, that boy going to open that thing up. Nah, it's right here. This is what the 7th is. He going to light our butts up. And we going to think we doing something like, man, God ain't never revealed this. It's going to be me. I'm talking crap. God ain't never revealed this stuff to no Gentile like, yo, please, this taught of Yah. You know what I'm saying? What you mean? This, that, another. His white butt going to open that book and get to light my butt up specifically. He going to turn the thing. And, bro, Fillmore, let me tell you, you wrong about this. You wrong about that. And now I'm about to shut my mouth. Come be like, checks out, man. That thing checks out. The man is right. Because he's going to understand how it's supposed to play. He's going to be able to tell you, y'all remember when Yahushua was born? And you remember King Herod. Yeah. Right? You remember somebody told King Herod, or he asked, I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, when is the Messiah supposed to be born? And didn't they know? They was like, didn't they see a star and was like, oh, this is it. They knew. King Herod, because he knew about the time frame, guess what he did? He said he might have already been born. I think it was 2 years old, kill every kid in the last 2. Whoever was born in the last 2 years, kill. How would he select that time frame? He would know. Somebody knew. I couldn't tell. Look, I feel like I'm a bad boy when it comes to this book. I could not open this book and tell you how in the world somebody knew Yahushua was going to be born in that 2-year range. But there's somebody who looked at something in the book or got some type of prophecy, knew it was true, and said, no, he here. And he took that, knew it was true, and killed babies in the last 2 year, in that 2-year window, which is sick. You know how hard you got to believe something to do, but he was right. That's the part that blows my mind when I read. I'm like, he was spot on. Like, who told him? Whoever that was a bad boy.
It's also like with Moses too, right? So when they trying to kill
same thing, yeah. Same thing with Moses. I think that one was more happenstance. You know what I'm saying? But King Herod knew exactly who he was after. He asked specifically, when they say to myself, I'm sorry, supposed to be king, right? Remember, King Herod was king. So hold on. He's supposed to be king, right?
That's your baby.
He's, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be king, right? Oh, okay. So if he's supposed to be king, kill them all. 2 years, kill them all. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of them. So it's gonna be like that. We're gonna have somebody who understands this stuff. And he gonna have the dark saying, he gonna understand the dark sayings, he gonna have a fierce countenance, so everybody knows this man is about business. He's not playing around. He will kill your butt if he need to. He's not playing with what he's doing. Right? Keep going. Watch this. So think of dark, like when the Bible talk of darkness, think of like mystery. Think of lack of, like, you just, it's darkness for us. You just can't see it.
Like a mystery.
Yeah. Like anything, like if we walk into a dark room, anything could be in there. So when we're in a dark room, how we walk? You know what I'm saying? Feeling around because we don't know anything could be in there. So that's what dark means. Anytime in the book when you see dark, we associate it to evil because evil can exist in darkness very easily. But in real life, it just means you're unsure. Like you have the dark sayings is something that people don't see. They don't understand it. They don't know they can't make sense of it. It's the same way when we read the prophecies. We was in there. I think this is talking about. That's a dark saying. You know what I'm saying? He gonna understand them. The stuff that's dark to everybody else, he gonna be clear about it. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper.
Hold on. His power gonna be mighty, but what?
But not by his own power.
What could that be talking about?
The beast gave him his power.
You remember the beast got his power from who?
The dragon.
So hold on. The beast got his power from the dragon? And what did the dragon do? Grab Daniel chapter 7 real quick. Oh, I don't know what verse it is. It's going to be Daniel chapter 7, maybe verse. What's the last verse in Daniel 7? Oh, I don't know what verse it is. Give me Daniel 7 maybe?
Oh, that's 25.
25, what I'm looking for?
I think so.
Oh, that's a good brother. Yeah, I'm saying this Daniel chapter 7, verse 25.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
No, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. No, I want him when he pull the stars down. It might be earlier than that. Let me see what 7 say. It's Daniel chapter 7, verse 7. Daniel, look for it for me if you know what I'm saying. Where he pull the stars down from heaven. I think it's Daniel 7. I don't think it's Daniel 8. Baby girl, all right?
Yeah, that was
You don't see it? Maybe it is an 8. Well, Daniel, see if you can find it for me. Let's go back to 8. This is Daniel chapter 8. Give me where we live off.
Verse 24.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. Watch what the book say. Maybe it's in 8.
And his power shall be mighty, but not with his own power, not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully.
8:10. Jump back to 8 verse 10. I just want y'all to see, because remember, according to Revelations, you have the dragon. The dragon gave his power to the beast, and then the beast gave that power to the second beast, which was the false prophet. Right? So now I want to show y'all that this is telling you the exact same thing. It's just doing it with dark sayings, right? So watch this.
And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the hosts and of the stars to the ground and stamped upon them.
Right? So in Revelation chapter 12, what did the dragon do?
He drew stars out of heaven.
He drew a third of the angels out of heaven.
With his tail.
With his tail, right? So this is talking about the same event. It's telling you the dragon is what gave it the power to do this. right? Revelation just trying to add more context to this for us. So the dragon is what gave the Grecians their power, right? Jump back down to verse 24. Watch how I say not by his own power, or was that verse 23?
And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Right? So he got his power from the dragon and the beast. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper in practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Right? So he shall destroy wonderfully. I think what that's telling you is he's going to be doing miracles. He's going to be doing some crazy stuff that we can't understand. So you got to you have to understand, not only is this man about business. When you look at him, you see he's a killer. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not playing with you. Leave him alone. Then on top of that, he going to open up the book, put all of us to shame. The Hebrew Israelite, Tata y'all, all of he going to light all our butts up. Be like, nah, that's not even what that means. I'm going to be sitting here with PowerPoints, be like, oh, and the third beast is this, that. And he be like, boy, that don't even make sense. If you go here and then go here, how that makes sense? And I'm going to have to sit there with the stupid face looking at a white man tell me out of book. I'll be like, well, my ancestors wrote it. You know what I'm saying? He going to be, no, that ain't even true. And then he going to light me up because he going to handle the book better than me. Right? And so I'm about to shut my mouth and I'm like, but I believe what I believe. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sound like a Christian. I'm going to be like, but I'm going to pray about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to sit here and sound like a Christian and have to put everything in doubt because the man is going to be that good with the book. Then he going to turn around, walk away, and do a miracle. Fire going to come from the sky. Whatever we ain't got to go get it, but whatever Revelation said, well, hey, the false prophet will be doing. He going to be having all types of, He going to make it close. Remember, it told you that second beast was a what? What animal did it depict it as? A goat? No, not a goat, but close. It was a lamb that had how many horns?
And he spoke like a dragon.
He had 2 horns and spoke like a dragon. Right? So you have to understand, like, you got to understand how, like, this is going to be different. This is not going to be no easy thing. It ain't going to be like, oh, it's very clear that the Most High God is. No, everybody going to be sitting here just as you're going to have way more information. You're going to have actual real prophets walking around. But the ante is going to be upped on each side. Right now, we ain't got no prophets and we don't have no real miraculous false prophets, right? We don't have any real prophets. All the false prophets, anybody can look at. Everybody know they false. You know what I'm saying? The false prophet up in church, there's somebody on this side of the room. You know what I'm saying? They smack you with handkerchief, paying people to fall out. And you know what I'm saying? Chair. They jumping up and down, speaking in tongues, and got everybody. That's the false prophet today, which everybody think is a joke. You know what I'm saying? Except for the people that fall for it. But everybody, the rest of the world look at it like that's a joke. That's not real. You know what I'm saying? However, it's going to be a time where the ante is going to be upped on our side where we got real prophets. Probably going to be like, thus says Yahuah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like to believe, you know what I'm saying? I like to believe that the prophecy is going to be related to stuff that, you know what I'm saying? Just as the ninja bullet. You know what I'm saying? And you press it and it spins and it grinds up the fruit. You know what I'm saying? That's how Yahuah will grind. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like something like that. As wide as your 80-inch TV. You know what I'm saying? That's how the gaping hole of, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I feel like, you know what I'm saying, our prophecy going to be. And we're going to hear, we're going to be like, oh, man, that's a cold game. But then on the other side, you're going to have this guy that make people doubt the real prophets. Because the ante is going to be upped on both sides, right? The false prophet is going to be a lot more convincing, just as the real prophets now are showing us the actual way. You know what I'm saying? And we going to struggle a lot. God forbid, not us, right? But a lot of people will struggle with this. A lot of people are going to look. So as we read Revelations and it's telling us, it's like, and yet they still didn't repent. And yet they still didn't give up their idols. Don't look at it and be like, oh, silly people. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be that. It's going to be, I understand. How could you, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would have to be on point not to fall for that. That's the type of situation we're dealing with. Keep going. Watch this.
And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
By peace, he's going to destroy many.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand.
Who's the prince of princes? Yahushua. And he's going to be broken without what?
Hand.
So now go back to Daniel chapter 2. What verse we leave off? And he shall be broken without hand. Watch this.
Verse 43.
This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 43. This is Daniel chapter 2, verse 43.
And whereas you saw iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. For as much as you saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
Without what?
Without hands.
He's going to be broken without hands. Watch this.
In that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, and the clay, the silver and the gold, the great God hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
So now it's telling us this piece that came out of the mountain that was without hands is going to break in pieces, not just the clay and the iron, but also the silver, the bronze, and the gold. So in other words, that whole thing is going to be destroyed. But remember, these other empires had already fallen. So what Revelations is revealing to us is all these empires are going to exist in the beast, in this Grecian. All the empires are going to exist there. So when Yahushua destroys it, it's destroying all of it. That's why all of it gets destroyed in this prophecy. Right? So this is talking about the same thing that Revelation is talking about when it's telling you it's going to be 7. 5 are fallen. 1 is, and 1 is yet to come. And then there's an 8th that I didn't even tell you about. But he's going to be one of the 5. And if we look back at the scripture and we say, who could that 8th be? Well, I don't know. Daniel tells us about the Grecians who pulled down the stars like Satan pulled down the angels.
And in Revelation, they talk about his throne being in Pergamos.
His throne is in Pergamos. That's where his seat is. And that seat, Pergamos, is where? In Turkey, which is Yahuah. Right? All of this stuff lines up to somebody in that area of the world, particularly Turkey. It's a guy right now. He has fierce countenance. He don't know no book though. You know what I'm saying? His name is Erdogan. That's how you say his name. Erdogan. He's the prime minister or president or something of Turkey. You know what I'm saying? He has fierce countenance. That boy definitely got some fear. You look at that boy, he mean business. He a little something. He like, you know what I'm saying? He probably about this big. You know what I'm saying? But he got fear. It's like he got little man syndrome. You know what I'm saying? They be saying he be killing all these boys out there. It's like I wouldn't play with him. If I bumped into him, yes sir. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yes sir. You know what I'm saying? He don't play, but he got fear. He just don't know the book. He be on that Islam stuff. He don't know the book. You know what I'm saying? But one day it's gonna be one of these guys who know the book. And you remember Yahushua, right? We didn't know. You remember they was trying to understand who could be the Messiah. They hang up with Yahushua was, that boy from Nazareth. Don't nothing good happen with Nazareth. That boy, you know what I'm saying? The Messiah got to be from Judah. Right? But they didn't know he was from Judah. Sometimes that might be how it play out. We may not know where this man is from. We might be like, we can't even get too hung up on the Grecian part because we don't know. It might be a nice tan white man, but we don't really know how white he is. It's this girl at work. She just got hired. And then one of my managers looked at her, she was like, she just looks so different. And I was like, I don't know what that means. You know what I'm saying? But she came in, she looked at her, and she was like, her skin tone was darker than when we interviewed her. And I was like, okay, well, you know, she might have got a tan. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, ain't none of my business. You know what I'm saying? But she might have got a tan. Who knows? But you look at it, sometimes you don't know. This person, she probably think the girl's black. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I ain't none of my business with the girl is. You know what I'm saying? But she probably think the girl black. She like she was white when I met her, and now she black. You don't really know. So it's like this guy pop up. He passes like a little multi-culti. You know what I'm saying? We be looking at him like, You know what? Maybe he's, you know what I'm saying? Maybe he's Colombian. Turned out the man background come out. We get the Carfax and the man is Grecian. That's the man of sin. He's the man of perdition. And now it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the type of stuff we got to be prepared for. We got to be prepared for deception at the highest levels. And I know y'all be, but if you got the COVID shot, you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, you're not ready. It can happen. All I'm trying to say, I don't like when people be walking around with pride. We be thinking play ain't gonna happen to me. Satan get behind me. You know what I'm saying? We be doing, no, you don't know. Like, no, we be getting lied to on the daily. Easy lies we don't be catching. It be like obvious stuff and we get caught up in it. It's like, no. Like, your last 2 boyfriends cheated on you and lied to you about it. What in the world? You're not ready yet. Calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be a human lie. You gotta be able to pass it. You gotta be like, well, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be ready for these other. It's gonna come and it's gonna come hard, and we gotta be like, okay, right? The main thing we gotta do is focus on keeping the commandments. Right? We keep the commandments. We do what Yahushua told us to do, and that's going to protect us. If we don't understand a lick of the dark sayings, if we don't understand nothing else, it's going to be better for us to say, all right, well, man of sin, I was wrong about that one. You know what I'm saying? But I know one thing. The book say, I can't sin. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be good for us to be dumb and following Yahushua than to know all the dark sayings and know all the wisdom and know all these different things and try to compete with this man who got his power from Satan. Right? That's not our fight. Our fight is obedience. Our fight is not, I know more than him. Let me go argue with him and debate him. I'll say, no, you're going to lose. You're going to lose because that's not what the book told. You're not going to lose because it's impossible. You're going to lose because that's not what he told you to do. That's about your glory and your fame. You ain't got no bitch debate, but I feel like I can save humanity if I debate. That's not what the man asked you to do. The man asked you to simply be obedient. Don't fall for the traps. Right? Keep going. What we got? Where we at?
Daniel chapter 2.
Daniel chapter 2. Let's go back to Revelation. This Revelation is where we leave off. 17?
Mm-hmm.
What was he talking about?
And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 and goes into perdition. And the 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Mm-hmm. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast.
Now, I don't know what 1 hour means, right? But like, if we take what Peter said, one day is like 1,000 years and all that, then 1 hour, whatever math that is, you know what I'm saying? I don't know off the top of my head, but 1 hour could be the equivalent of a number of days, maybe several, several years or something like that, right? So what 1 hour is to a day might be whatever is to 1,000 years. Keep going.
These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. And they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And he said unto me,
1/24 technically. All right. So 1 hour could technically be 1/24 of 1,000 years. What's that math? Tia, you in finance. What's that math? Yeah, a 24th. What's a 24th of 1,000? That's simple math. But you know what I'm saying? It's simple math, ain't it? It's like you just gotta put a couple zeros on there, right? You take a couple zeros away, right? I don't know. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Keep going.
And he said unto me, the waters which you saw where the horse sits are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For God has put it in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and to give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which you saw is the great city, which reign over the kings of the earth.
Sister, who is that? Sister Pam said 42 days is what it come out to be. 42. That seems short though, Sister Pam. So we got to test that. We have to say 42 days times 24 would have to come up to. That's not. Yeah, I don't think that's right because it would have to equal up to 1,000 years. So maybe it's 42 years. 42 for this. I don't know. Y'all making my brain hurt to guard. I just want to teach the Bible. That's all. I ain't asked you to give me a math test. What you got going on? 42 years. So 42 years. Okay. That's a long time. Right. So, but it could be, I personally believe that the events in Revelation spanned over many, many years. Probably 300 years. That's my personal, I can't prove it. I got a little evidence for it though, but we ain't going to get that deep. You know what I'm saying? But I think this stuff spans over a very long period of time. Keep going. What we got?
Revelation 18 now.
Is Revelation 18. Give me verse 1. See how much we can get through. It's Revelation chapter 18, verse 1.
And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen.
He said, Babylon the great has fallen. Watch this.
Is fallen and is become the habitation of devils.
And has become the habitation of what?
Devils. And the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants and...
So now, it has become the habitation of devils and of every what?
And of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
So I told y'all that we're going to try to figure out who Babylon is or what Babylon is. There is only one nation in prophecy that fits this description. Right? Grab Isaiah chapter 34. There's Isaiah chapter 34. There's only one nation in prophecy that fits this description. Babylon will become the habitation of devils and foul spirits and every, what is it, caged bird?
Unclean,
hateful bird. This is Isaiah chapter 34. Let's skip to about verse 6 for the sake of time. What up, boy? You come to my house and you don't say nothing to me? Yeah, you ain't sitting down either. Come give me a handshake. Hurry up. Hurry up, boy. We got a show to do. What you doing? You gonna say hi to the people? Oh, not tall enough. Too bad.
Short. Daddy, look. I'm a little pepper.
Oh, I'm gonna destroy you, boy. Yeah. Get your butt.
Come here, Taylor.
The sword of Yahuah is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lambs and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For Yahuah is a sacrifice in Basra.
A sacrifice where?
In Basra.
Where is Basra?
Edom.
That's Edom. So you think of where Israel is, and just south of Israel, that's Edom, right? That's where Basra is, right? Keep going.
And the unicorn shall come. And a great slaughter in the land of Idumea.
Idumea? What's Idumea?
Edom.
Edom, right? That's the like Greek translated version of Edom. So now I want to show y'all something. Keep going though.
And the unicorn shall come down with them, and the bullocks with the bulls, and their land shall be soaked with blood, and their dust made fat with fatness. For it is the day of Yahuwah's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversy of Zion. And the streams shall be turned into pitch, and the dust into brimstone, and the land shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night nor day. The smoke thereof shall go up forever. From generation to generation it shall lie waste. None shall pass through it forever and ever. But the cormorant and the bittern shall possess it. The owl also and the raven shall dwell in it, and shall be stretched out upon it in the line of confusion, and the stones of emptiness. They shall call the nobles thereof to the kingdom, but none shall be there, and all her princes shall be nothing. And thorns shall come up in her palaces, nettles and brambles in the fortress thereof. And it shall be a habitation of dragons and a court of owls. The wild beasts of the desert shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow.
The what?
Satyr.
What's a satyr?
Like a goat man.
Right? That's a goat man. Now in the book it's just translated as goat. Right? But a satyr, the white folks that put this together, they understood what the book was talking about, and they translated it as a satyr. The satyr is the half man, half goat. Right? This same word goat was used in Leviticus when it told us don't go sacrificing. It's translated as devils. Right? So usually we sacrifice goats, right? That's one of the things that we offer as a sacrifice. In Leviticus, it told us don't sacrifice to the goat, right? And the same thing in Leviticus when we talk about the Day of Atonement. We had two goats, right? We had one goat where it was a sacrifice, a sin offering, and there was the second goat, which was called what?
The scapegoat.
The scapegoat. Right? In English, we call it the scapegoat. Guess how it's translated in Hebrew? Azazel. Right? And if you read the book of Enoch, the leading angel that calls the people to fall and go lay, or calls the angels to fall and go lay with the women, which then created those giants, that the leading angel of that, the one who took on all the blame for it, was Azazel. And book of Enoch says that the Most High God put all the sins of the angels on Azazel and then cast him into the pit. Just like we did with the scapegoat. So every year we take the scapegoat, the priest put his hands on him, put all the sins of the people on the scapegoat and sends them into the wilderness. Right? So all these are surrounding a goat. Right? If you look at some of these Satan worshipers today, right? What image do they worship? What image do they have to represent? It's a goat. You know what they call it? Actually, I don't remember what they call it. Start with a B. It's Baphomet, I think. Baphomet. Yeah, something like that. Baphomet or something like that. But yeah, it's a goat man with little boobs. You know what I'm saying? I think he got like 3 boobs or something like that. So it's like a tranny goat. You know what I'm saying? and the goat, so it's like they go way further. Right? But that's what these so that's these reoccurring images and all this stuff. Sometimes we don't understand these images. We don't know what all this imagery come from, right? But all this stuff is tied to stuff. And the book is talking. It's like when we read Jeremiah 10 and they talk about, oh, you go to the forest and you chop down a tree and you deck it up and you dress it with gold, right? A lot of people, that's not talking about Christmas. Christmas didn't even exist back then. It's like, I know it didn't. You're right. But our whole point is that your Christmas came from something else. And this is talking about what you do today, right? So it's like all this stuff that you're doing, you don't realize this stuff comes from something. And the book is written thousands of years ago. So yeah, people remix it because people have had to deal with this book for thousands of years. So it's like, I'm going to change it just a little bit so you can't condemn me for it. Just like what we do now. If we tell them, nah, Christmas come from this, that, another, what they change it to?
Family.
It's just about the family. If you know what I just heard they changed Halloween. Because so many people are not celebrating Halloween. The same girl I was just telling y'all about, you know what I'm saying, that just got hired in my job. They came over to me on yesterday and they brought Krispy Kreme. And y'all know. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know. You know what I'm saying? So they brought the Krispy Kreme. Open that thing up. So no, they brought it first. And I'm looking like, oh, let's do it. Give it here. They're like, no, take it to your kids. I'm like, of course. Give it here. You know what I'm saying? Of course. So I'm about ready to bring it to my family. I'm going to be the man when I get here with the Krispy Kremes. So I open it up. Every one of them decorated for Halloween. You know what I'm saying? It's a pumpkin one here. All of them Halloween decoration. So I was like, oh, no, that's okay. It's Halloween. I don't need it. So then my partner, she looking like, no, I'll just pick it all off. I'm like, first of all, I don't. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? I'll just pick. I'm like, no, like, you know what I'm saying? It's okay. Now, she's sweet and kind. Like, she just trying to, you know what I'm saying? Because for her, it don't mean nothing. with it on there or not, it's just a donut to her. And that's exactly what she said. She's like, it's just a donut. I'll take it off, then it's just a donut. You know what I'm saying? It's just that. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. It really does. But I just don't celebrate Halloween. And I don't want the donuts that bad. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Given the right situation, that would have did the trick. Wipe it off so I can eat that thing. But I just wasn't that hungry for the donut for this particular situation. So I'm okay, right? Then she pop up behind me and she, you know what I'm saying, the new girl, and she looking like, well, I don't celebrate Halloween either. So I look back and I said, well, would you look at that? You know what I'm saying? And now I don't know, but my imagination is she's a downright Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I don't know though, but that's the take I would get. I think I saw a cross. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like she's a downright Christian. But even Christians now are starting to push back on the day. But if you remember, before they pushed back on it, what did they change it to? Trunk and treat and all that. Now guess what they calling it? They changed the name to Character Day. So now the kids can dress up as a character. That's the new. It's new. I think it's just this year. I never heard of it before this year. They changed it to Character Day in some areas. So now feel free to dress up as a character. So that gives you license to practice the same thing. But now it can't be condemned by the people who don't like it. So that's all that happens throughout history. It's just like change it a little bit so I can avoid condemnation and everybody be okay with it. Here's the donut, but I'll wipe that off of it. But it's still the same donut. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want the donut. That's all I'm saying is I don't want the donut. So that's how these people move. That's how all this stuff works out. And we have to be alert. Like we have to be able to see this stuff for what it is because that's what's happening. This is the dark sayings, right? Keep going. Watch this.
And the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there and find for herself a place of rest. There shall the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. And there shall the vultures also be gathered, every one with her mate.
All these animals represent evil spirits. There's one in there that's even that's talking about the daughters, right? And that one is, you know what I'm saying? That one's talking about the fallen angels and the product of the fallen angels also. So all this stuff is talking about evil spirits. And this is talking about evil spirits being in Edom, in Basra. So if we look at this map, this is where Edom and Basra is, right? It's in this area right here, right? Just beneath Israel. So technically, that's in the land of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is really, most of the stuff happening in Saudi Arabia is like right here and, you know what I'm saying, like over here. You know what I'm saying? Yemen, not so much. But all this is Saudi Arabia. This is too. But this is where Basra was. So that's going to be the area, right, that according to this prophecy, I think that's what aligns to Mystery Babylon. Now, I know that's hard to see now because it's like that part of the world ain't on top of nothing. It ain't leading nothing. It ain't running nothing. Maybe, but maybe something changes soon, right? Maybe some things change. And guess what religion is in that part of the world? Predominantly, at least. A bunch of Muslims. A bunch of Muslims. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you want a devil religion, it's Muslims. Them boys is wicked, nasty people. The one that started it openly touched on little girls and married little girls and raped little girls. Muhammad. Right? Openly. And they all support it, hide it, and this, that, and the other. They tell you, they the ones that started slavery. They the ones that came up with the Ham curse for black people and said, well, yeah, it's okay to enslave them because they were cursed by God. These are the ones, this is the curse of Ham. Black skin is the curse of Ham. So it's okay to enslave them. And so they put us in that bucket, tried to say we was black like the Hamites. And then that's how they justified the slavery of us, right? These are wicked, wicked, wicked people. That's why they out there blowing the. I don't look at these people and be like, Islam is a peaceful religion. Yeah. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying because I know the history. You can tell other people that and try to rebrand it, but all you doing is wiping the direct decoration off of the donut. Like I know what happened. I know the history, right? The history is you got up. Muhammad was jealous of Israelites, couldn't be accepted by Israelites, he had a vision by a false prophet. He then accepted that false, I mean not a false prophet, of a false angel. He then accepted that vision, created his own religion by copycatting about a bunch of our stuff, and then tried to, you know what I'm saying, fricassee it. You know what I'm saying? Change it a little bit.
He was just the dude that wanted to be a Hebrew but was rejected.
You can't be accepted, and you can't keep wanting to do your thing. So then he started worshiping the moon and doing all this wild stuff that he's doing. And then after that, his followers came up after him, and they ran through Africa like crazy. Get down, lay down, killing folks, enslaving folks. Like if you like the slavery that the white folk put us through was worse for sure, right? However, it started with the Muslims. The Muslims kicked it off first, but there was more sexual. There was more about our women. They caused our women to be sex slaves, put them all through the Ottoman Empire. They did all types of wild, crazy, nasty stuff that them people are sick, right? Now, does that mean the person of Islam is sick? No, of course not. It just means that you believe in something that's sick, which means I can't trust you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You might turn a corner one day. I don't know. Right? Same thing with Christians. You know what I'm saying? You believe in something that's just not real, so I can't trust you. Don't mean that you're an evil person. Sometimes these Christians be right. Sister Pam just quoted something from the Christian. I was like, that thing ain't bad. What'd you say, Sister Pam? It was she was like some Christian told her, she said, you either going into a storm, in the middle of a storm, or coming out of a storm. But that's life or something, whatever it is. I said, that's a bad quote there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes these Christians be spot on. I've never heard of Islam with a good quote. I'm just saying. Where we at?
Isaiah.
We good on Isaiah. So this is let's come back to Revelation chapter 18. That's a nasty butt. That's a nasty butt, boy. Not you. Hi, beautiful. I didn't know you was here either. This Revelation chapter 18, give me verse 2.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, is fallen.
Look, these Muslims will kill your butt for talking like I'm talking right now. These Muslims don't play about that stuff. You hear about the man who drew a picture? He drew a picture of Muhammad kind of making fun of him, and they killed that man. They stabbed that man in Europe or whatever, wherever he was. They stabbed that man up. I can't go to Europe. Talking like this, I take my butt to Europe. What you think they're going to do to me? I'll take my butt to Europe right now. Say something. I wish they would. They ain't never fought like a real black person. You know what I'm saying? They be dealing with these European Africans. They're different. They don't know that. In their mind, they think of all black people the same. So they fight. They don't know that Africans is more like white people than they are like black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you come up against me. It's like, boy, you have a hard time with that little knife. You better, you know what I'm saying? You seen Born Identity? Well, I'll take off my shirt. You know what I'm saying? They ain't never seen nothing like me. Go ahead. What we got?
And is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. Mm-hmm. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Mm-hmm. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she has filled to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she says in her heart, I sit as queen, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is Yahuah God who judges her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning standing afar off, for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all tyine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and brass, iron and marble, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots, slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that the soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, the great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour so great riches is come to nothing. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors, as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, the great city wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour she is made desolate.
All right, in 1 hour this great city was made desolate. Keep going.
Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians of the pipers and the trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth. For by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets, of saints, and of all that were slain upon the earth.
All right, so that's going to be the end of Babylon, which I believe, based off of the connection that we made about the evil spirits dwelling in there forever, the only prophecy I could find that represents that is talking about Edom. I believe it to be Edom. I think it's going to be the land of Edom, which means that between this time and that time, going to be a lot of stuff that changes, right? And I think it's very possible, right? You see Saudi Arabia, that's currently Saudi Arabia territory. You see Saudi Arabia has some of the greatest cities in the world right now, right? It's very easy for them to build another city there, right? And if they build a city there, guess what? That is one of the main trade routes of the world, right? Right here by this, what's this thing called? The Red Sea right here. And then the Suez Canal, I think it's called, right? This is one of the most used trade routes in the world, right? So if you put something right there and build a city right there, I think they already got cities, but you build a great city right there, and whoever it is takes control of some stuff, and that becomes the greatest city, like it could easily happen. So we keep our eye out. We'll look for that. Again, all this stuff that we come up with, these theories, is not to predict what's going on. It's just to keep our minds open about possibilities. So that way, when it happens, we can give God the glory, right? We can say, okay, you know what? You did tell us it was going to be like this. And hopefully that comforts us. That puts us in the right mind frame where we don't freak out, we don't panic, and we don't make mistakes. Okay? Any questions? Any questions? Well, I'm tired. Let's pray out. Uh-oh, sounds like the fall of Dubai now. Yeah, just about. Y'all got questions?